What's up, everybody? Facts to Deal. My name is Mike Fields, also known as Facts, and welcome to another episode of Black Facts, Black Facts. Oh, yes. This is where I get to celebrate Black History Month 2022 in my own special way. You already know. What's up, everybody? Hope you had a wonderful day, a magnificent Monday. Today is Monday, February 28th, 2022. Now, technically, this is the last day of Black History Month, but what did I say? Black history is world history. It's to be celebrated every day of the week, because that's what it is. That's what it is. Black history is literally every day. Like, it's just like that. The effect is universal. So it's every day of the week, baby. It's every day of the year. All right? So keep on celebrating. But as far as Black Facts is concerned, this episode concludes, so we're going to end it on a bang, end it on a high note, all right? And what better way than to end it with my main man? You see it. Yes, sir. Now listen, no doubt, my favorite TV show of all time, no doubt. And I had the distinct honor and pleasure of watching it with my dad about every night up until he got sick. Every night, Family Feud with Steve Harvey, Martin. And we would crack up just like we were watching every episode for the first time. Crazy. And it was just like that. Like, I really appreciate the genius that is Martin Lawrence. I appreciate like everything that, like the cast, the writers, the producers, the way the show was put together, the theme music, man, whoever produced the theme music, this is classic, man. All the characters, man, you know, that just changed my life. This show is a significant part of my life. The quotables, the lines, like, Martin is a walking lexicon, man. Like, he gave us language. Look. My man. Still don't know what he does for a living. Best show in the world, man. Greatest show ever. TV sitcom. I'll say that. All right? Say what you want. For me, number one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all how I did the research, because there's a lot of information out there on Martin Lawrence, okay? So in order for me to best assist with showing how I got that, I got to walk you through it, all right? So how did I get the information? Might you ask? I Googled him. Oh, yes. And folks, like I said, information I found is plentiful and very interesting. It opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know about Martin beforehand. And of course, there are links between his life and mine that I just found, all right? So, without further ado, let's get to the script. And before we get to the script, let's do the research. I'm walking through the research, all right? So goes. And before we get into it, how do I look him up? How do I type it into the Google search? Because we got to go to Google, all right? So how do I look it up? What kind of type? What kind of font? All caps, baby. Let's get into it, all right? All caps, because he is the GOAT. Martin Lawrence is the greatest of all time. Definitely when it comes to the sitcom. Definitely. As far as, comedian, I mean, that's up for debate for anybody else. But for me, I'm putting Martin in the top 10 as far as stand-up. His stand-up, You So Crazy, alone. Classic. Anyway, parental advisory. Just so you know, parental advisory, all right? No shade on my main man Martin, but definitely parental advisory on, I would say, a good number of his work. Not all of his work, but a lot of his work, parental advisory. So when we're doing the research on Martin, keep that in mind, that it's a lot of adult humor in his craft, all right? That's just what it is. Hilarious, funny, classic. Parental advisory, though. Just saying, all right? Here we go. Go to Google. All caps for the GOAT, Sir Martin Lawrence. Here we go. Capital Martin space capital Lawrence. Enter on that J. Oh yeah! Shout out to my very first best friend in the whole world, Lawrence Beard. Love you, dog. Every time I see Martin Lawrence, I think about my boy Lawrence. Oh yes. Now, Martin has a lot of information. It's good to go through it all to see what what stands out. But let's go down. Wikipedia, IMDb.com. Of course, he's got social media. I see Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, of course. Now his shows, you can't really see his shows on YouTube. You can see little clips here and there, but normally you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got a subscription. Well, even if you get a subscription to one of these programs, I think it's on Netflix now. All right, so you can rent or buy the seasons of his show. All right. Here we go. Variety.com. Let's see. TheMovieDB.org. Man, there's a lot of stuff on here. Anyway, let's get into it. The Griot, Deadline. Oh, so they're talking about a Martin cast reunion special on BET. All right. That popped up a week ago. So yeah, man, let's get into it, man. There's a lot of information. Let's get into it. I'm not going to hold you long. I promise. So goes, especially compared to like the last few episodes. Definitely not gonna be that long. All right, facts. Let's get into it. Here we go. Martin Fitzgerald Lawrence was born on April 16th, 1965, in Frankfurt, West Germany. He is the fourth of 6 children. Didn't know that. During a 1994 appearance on the Arsenio Hall show, Martin Lawrence revealed that his mother told him that he was named after civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. Facts. That's why I got this shirt on. All right. I don't have any Martin gear, but definitely got Dr. King. All right. Shout out. So he was named. His first name comes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his middle name, Fitzgerald, comes from U.S. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Okay? So he's named after 2 great leaders who were all about equality, treating people right, changing the world for the better. All right? Equity. All right? Strong leaders in this world. And so his mom named him aptly, and I think the conversation that he had with Arsenio was basically surrounding, Martin feeling attacked by critics and the press was getting at him and it was getting into his head and he needed some reassurance from his mom. And so she reminded him of his name, what his name means, why she named him that. Basically, he's a conqueror. All right. And that's something that my mom has instilled in not just me, but my siblings as well. But certainly me, in my personal talks with my mom, like she's reminded me of my name over and over and over again. Like I even have a card that she wrote me. I think it was for my grad school graduation from University of Maryland, College Park. Shout out, go Terps. So when I graduated from University of Maryland at College Park, my mom gave me a card. I think it had some money in it, but it also had a note. And she usually writes at least a small note, personal message in the card. And it just, again, it reminded me of what my name means and what I'm here to do. And so I can relate to Martin on that. All right. Told you, man. I got links. Everybody that I present, that I celebrate here on Black Facts. Come to find out, there's always a link between that person and myself. So shout out to Martin. Shout out to great parents who do that for their children. We named them aptly, and we named them with purpose, and we remind them, parents remind the children of their purpose through their name. All right, so that the child will never be lost. That's the hope. All right, that's the purpose. All right, so Martin's father, John Lawrence, was serving in the U.S. military at the time of his birth. When Martin was 7, his father left the military and the family moved from West Germany back to the United States. They settled in Landover, Maryland. So they went from Germany, Frankfurt, West Germany, to Landover, Maryland. All right? Now, Landover, Maryland, why is that significant? Burgundy and gold, baby. You already know. It is the home of the greatest sports franchise ever in the history of sports, especially in football. It's the Washington. First we were the Braves, then we were Redskins, then we were the Washington football team, and now we are the Washington Commanders. Whatever we're called, I just want to win, dude. That's all. I don't care who's on the team. I don't care what the name is. Keep the colors, and give me another Lombardi, please. Please. Let's get another trophy, baby. Come on. Win, baby. Just win. Facts! We call us the Washington winner and the Washington champion. Let's go, baby. Facts. You already know what it is. All right. So, Landover, Maryland now. Following his parents' divorce, so when he was 8 years old, his parents divorced. All right, they split up. Martin rarely saw his father after that. And his father was a police officer at the time. Now, who else's father was a police officer? My father, my dad, police officer in Washington, D.C., the Metropolitan Police Department, Washington, D.C. Shout out. Links, man. Like Martin said, we are here. We are here. Here. It's like that, man. Martin's mother, Clara, she worked several jobs to support the family. During his teen years, Martin excelled at boxing, becoming a Mid-Atlantic Golden Gloves boxing contender. And I think he talks about that in his stand-up routine. I'm pretty sure he does in some of his specials. And also in on the Martin Show, when he was when they were either they were camping or he and Gina went to that resort, Chilligan's Island, and the they called it the puppy, the wolf, the dog puppy thing, whatever it was that was attacking them, that creature that was haunting them. He pulled out the boxing skills in that joint. He was wearing that thing out, man. No lie. But I mean, you could just see like the pugilistic skills, man. I mean, he had it, man. He was swinging. He was swinging the things, man. It was funny, but I could just see like, yeah. His stand-up, he was for real. Like in his stand-up when he said that he used to box. And right here, the research, man, he doesn't really go into like, his status as a boxer, like what he was able to achieve in his stand-up routines. But right here, the research says he was a Mid-Atlantic Golden Gloves boxing contender. I mean, I consider that's probably pretty good. I think so. I don't really know, but do the research. You tell me. Facts. And while living in Maryland, Martin lived in Apple Grove. I don't know where that is. Oh, but I do know where this is. It says that he attended Eleanor Roosevelt High School and Friendly High School. I know where both of those are. Both of those schools, I know where they are. Shout out to those. Shout out to Roosevelt High School and Friendly High School. What up? Facts! Thank you for co-producing Martin Lawrence. Appreciate you. In his early days, Martin did comedy shows in the DMV, which is the Washington, D.C. area, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. All right? And supported himself through odd jobs. Comedian Rich Snyder saw his act and suggested Lawrence make connections in New York. And New York is a major entertainment hub. L.A., New York, Atlanta, D.C. D.C. is not as well. It depends. It depends on what. Because a lot of people say DC is not necessarily an entertainment market. And I would say it's because of the way that people talk about it. But it really is. I mean, major acts come to DC all the time. They have to come to DC. It's just that kind of place. It's transient. It's definitely a political stronghold in this country. And so with that, there's a lot of money. And so entertainers are going to be there. And especially now with the MGM, man, facts. And you already had sports arenas, but now there's a casino. So definitely. But back then, Martin, he knew he had to go to New York. So Martin ended up moving to New York City and found his way to the comedy club, The Improv. Shortly after appearing at The Improv, Martin Lawrence won a performance spot on Star Search. Now, he does talk about that in his interviews, going to Star Search. All right? He did well on the show and made it to the final round, but did not win. However, However, executives at Columbia Pictures Television saw Martin's performance and offered him the role of Maurice Warfield in What's Happening Now. And I remember seeing him on that show. This was his first acting job. Now look, this is a lesson in perseverance, in striving, and belief. We talked about, Jamie Foxx moving to LA. We talked about Denzel moving, to achieve his dreams. Like, sometimes it's absolutely necessary. Sometimes it can just happen where we are, naturally, where we're born, so we don't have to move. It depends on what it is that we're doing. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the same, calling. That's nobody really has the same calling. But in terms of, the dream and all that, a lot of times, we find ourselves connecting with people along the way because our dreams, our individual dreams, bring us to the same place as someone else who's dreaming something in a similar way. That we both have similar interests and similar passions. And for this brother right here, his move to New York set him up for everything else that was going to happen in his life along the terms of his career in entertainment. So I'll just say this, man. Like, for all my students, I always say, I can tell you about moving to New York. I moved to New York, a couple times. You know what I'm saying? I moved to LA. I can tell my students how to get there, but you're going to have to work. You're going to have to work. And that's exactly what this brother did. All right? Facts. Upon cancellation of the show that he was on, that was What's Happening Now, Martin Lawrence found bit parts in various films and television series. His breakthrough role was as C in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Now, why is Do the Right Thing significant? Who went to go see Do the Right Thing as the first date? Who did I present? And they went to go see Do the Right Thing as their first date. Barack and Michelle Obama. Facts! I'm trying to tell you, man. These links, man, to everybody I'm presenting, just pay attention, man. I'm just saying, man. Do the research for yourself. Don't believe me. Do the research. I'm just giving you the facts, baby, as they come. Facts. Other roles followed in films such as the House Party series, where he played Bilal, the DJ. Hilarious. Parental Advisory. But classic, yo. Classic lines. Lexicon, man. Talking Dirty After Dark. Hilarious. And the Eddie Murphy classic, Boomerang. Line after line after line. Like, so many quotables. And he's working with Eddie Murphy, who was his mentor. His hero in comedy. Him and Richard Pryor, are Martin Lawrence's like top heroes in entertainment, specifically comedy. I mean, and he got to work with him multiple times. Fact, let's keep it moving. So goes, during this period, entertainment mogul Russell Simmons selected him to host the groundbreaking series Def Comedy Jam. Man, oh man. Now, definitely parental advisory for that show. But I'm saying, that show itself, I believe, top 5, top 10. Definitely, I would say top 5 of shows that I can think of. Like live stand-up comedy series, top 5, top 3. Def Comedy Jam, for sure. I mean, the level of talent that came through there. I mean, such as Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle, Mike Epps, Bernie Mac. And Bernie Mac, my dad said Bernie Mac was the greatest comedian of all time. And my dad has seen Richard Pryor. He got Richard Pryor albums. My dad said Bernie Mac is the greatest comedian of all time. Shout out to Tyler Jasper, Travis, OSA. You already know what it is. Like, we still, every time we link up, man, we watching Bernie Mac clips and just rolling, like cracking up, like we never seen it before. It's just like that, man. That kind of Cedric the Entertainer, like that kind of brand, that kind of ilk came through Def Comedy Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people like me, I saw Bernie Mac for the first time on Def Comedy Jam. Maybe even Chris Tucker. Either it was Def Comedy Jam, Arsenio Hall, or Showtime at the Apollo. The first time that I saw Chris Tucker. So, but that was Martin's. That certainly launched Martin to another level of success, another level of exposure. All right. During this stint with Def Comedy Jam, Martin appeared in his own self-entitled series, Martin. And this is why he was doing Def Comedy Jam. You so crazy. Like that right there? That's language, man. Now check out. You're going to see the writers and producers of the show coming up. These are all the co-stars. Brilliant cast. No better cast in sitcom history. You're right there. Created by John Bowman, Martin Lawrence, and Topeka Ridge. Shout out to those brothers, man. That's when you talk about like respect, you know, where the show comes from, like giving credit to where credit is due. Yes, those three guys. Definitely all the actors, definitely the cast and crew, you know what I'm saying? Certainly. But you need somebody to write and produce the show, to create the show. And it's legendary, man. For real. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much, man. I love y'all, for real. I met Topeka Ridge one time at a premiere for Tyler Perry's, one of the Tyler Perry movies. Can't remember which one it was. Was it Good Deeds? Might have been Good Deeds. I think so. It was in LA. Nice brother. Didn't really get a chance to talk much, but you know, definitely a nice brother. Yeah, man, it was a good time. Wait, was that him? Was that him? I think it was him. Anyway, nonetheless. Yeah, man. Let's move right along here. Let's see. So, Martin's show was on Fox. It ran from 1992 to 1997 and was an enormous success. Martin was the flagship of Fox's Thursday night lineup. Like I said, Thursday night, coming into Friday, being at school the next day. All my boys saw Martin. We were trading lines, you know what I'm saying? Who could do the lines the best? Who could do, man, like, who could do the best Jerome? Who could do the best Otis? Who could do the best Roscoe? The best Bob? You know what I'm saying? The best Shanae? Like, it was just crazy. The best Dragonfly Jones. I mean, like, it was every day at school, especially at lunch, especially in the hallway, especially coming in the morning, like going to homeroom. You know, everybody, you know, use the bathroom, go to the locker, and then like in between, down the hallway, up and down the hallway, it was just a matter of stopping by somebody's classroom and being like, ooh, and then rolling out. It was crazy, man. But that's what Martin inspired. Like every day, it was just. And then I got a chance to do morning announcements with it was Jonathan Robinson, my boy Kevin Hogan, my brother Mitchell, Sean. Let's see, who else was there? Somebody else was there too. I don't know, man. There was some other folks there too. I don't, you know. I'm sorry that, you know, if I'm forgetting names, but still, it was just like Sean Turner, man. Like he had the gold tooth as well. It was just comedy, man. We set the mornings off, and it was largely inspired by Martin, like things that we saw on the Martin show, lines that we heard on the Martin show. Just like, anyway, shout out again, Martin Lawrence, man. All right, on February 19th, 1994. Here we go. This is big. Martin hosted Saturday Night Live. His opening monologue resulted in him being banned from the show and temporarily banned from NBC. All right. Now I know this is March is Women's History Month. So what he said on Saturday Night Live, a lot of people took offense to it because of some of the comments were seen as degrading to women. All right. So, and I think comedians, they know the risk. A lot of times they know the risk they're taking because they're meant to be funny. They're meant to be jokes. And a lot of comedians they focused on the joke part. They don't focus on all the negative backlash that could happen, for the most part. And they just they go for it. And whatever happens, happens. And so in this case, it was probably something that he had done in stand-up before, but he decided to bring it to, network TV, like, SNL, and it just didn't fly. It was just, it wasn't good. So, and I think that's what caused him to call his mom, because this happened in 94 when he was on Arsenio Hall. That was in 94. This was early in the year. This was February 19th, 1994. So, it's I think it's highly likely that this right here was why he called his mom, and his mom reassured him of what his name means. Makes sense to me. In 1995, Martin and Will Smith starred in Bad Boys. Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? When Bad Boys, folks. That's Bad Boys right there. Bam. You see it. And look, the characters are Marcus and Mike. Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowrey. So Martin is Marcus Burnett and Will Smith is Mike Lowrey. And that's my brother and I. Mark and Mike. It's just like that. I'm trying to tell you, all these links, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, like I'm saying, like I just appreciate Martin, man, for real. Like he's just enhanced my life, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, stay focused. We almost there. After Martin ended his run in 1997, he found work in comedy films, all right? He often starred as the second lead opposite actors, including Eddie Murphy, of course, Danny DeVito, and Tim Robbins. Many of his films were blockbusters at the office, including Nothing to Lose, Life, Blue Street, and Big Mama's House. Now, Nothing to Lose, that was co-starring Tim Robbins. Life, man. That's co-starring Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac. Who else is it? I mean, it's so many people in that one right there, but just Eddie Murphy and Bernie Mac alone, man. That was enough. But there's so many different. So Google Life. Let's see. Let me click on this real quick. Cause Life, that's definitely full of quotes, man. Let's see, Life. Just wait for it to upload. Okay, here we go. Anthony Anderson, Miguel Nunez Jr., Bokeem Woodbine, Guy Torry. And Guy Torry is another guy who needs to be celebrated because of what he did in LA, putting on comedians with a program, with an event called Fat Tuesdays. And it changed the game in terms of being able to see comedians, black comedians, do their thing. And them black comedians being able to work without all the hustle and hassle. Well, they still got the hustle, but as far as all the hassle, you know what I'm saying, there's still some prejudice out there in the game, and they don't make that, they don't hide that. They know they've been affected by, because racism is everywhere. And so, especially in entertainment, especially in Hollywood and other entertainment hubs, there's still that cloud of racism that exists. And so back in the 90s, when Guy Torry first got his breakthrough, he decided to use his platform as leverage to bring other comedians out into the open so that other people could see them and they can get opportunities too. And that's love. All right, shout out to Guy Torry. I actually got to meet Guy Torry at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland at I think it was a Redskins game. Matter of fact, it was a Redskins game at the time. All right, shout out to Guy Torry, and he was very nice too, man. For real, I appreciate that, man. Much love, appreciate you, bro. For real. Fat Tuesdays, y'all. Check out, research Fat Tuesdays in LA. Comedy. All right. Yes. So let's get back to the Oba Babatunde. There's a lot of people that were in Life. Check out Life, the movie Life, L-I-F-E, with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Check it out. Facts. Parental Advisory. I'm just saying, it's just like that. Classic, hilarious Parental Advisory. That's all. All right. So he had a bunch of Blue Street. My barber Donnie and I, we laugh about Blue Street. Just because off the strength of Martin's his go-to with wigs and makeup and just putting on disguises, costumes and stuff like that, which he definitely displayed in the Martin show. But when he did it in movies, like, it was just another level. In Blue Streak, I mean, classic scenes with the pizza. Oh, and my boy Keith and I at work, we were just joking about a scene in Blue Streak. Check out Blue Streak. All right, Blue Streak. When he dresses up and he's delivering pizzas to a police precinct. Definitely check that out. Shout out. Love y'all, man. Donnie, Keith, you already know what it is. Facts! Alright, now let's see. He also starred in movies that were good, but not box office hits. Alright? And that includes Black Knight, which I enjoyed that movie. And National Security. I enjoyed that movie too. Sometimes they get hating, Still, even though those movies were not a success or as successful, Martin's salary increased to over $10 million per film. This dude was still banking over $10 million per film, even though not all of his films were hits. That means that his career, his notoriety, his fame, his act, his craft was of such value, especially off the strength of what he'd done before, especially with this show. This show set him up. Set him up. Like, he was good. He was good after that. All right. And so, over $10 million per film role. Whew. Crazy. He continued to work in film. Of course he continued to work in film. With hits such as Big Mama's House 2, that came out in 2006, and Wild Hogs, which came out in 2007. And it's crazy because my boy Rome, now I actually do have one of my best friends. His name is Jerome. Yes, his name is Jerome, right? And he was laughing. He called me one time just because he did a screen record and sent me a video clip from Wild Hogs. And he was like, he was rolling because Martin used a line from his show. He used a line from the Martin show in the movie Wild Hogs, when he greets somebody by saying, "What you know no good." He greeted somebody by saying, "What you know no good," which is part of a line from Elroy Presley, which is a character in the Martin show, a mechanic that sings. But there's one thing he knows more than cars. You know what that is? His music. Don't you know no good? Check out the Martin Show, man. Do yourself a favor. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Now, I'm not going to say there's parental advisory on the Martin Show. I won't say that because it's network TV, so it's Channel 5. And Channel 5, they got some shows on that can be a little wild. But Martin Show, I'm not going to say anything about that. Like, yeah. It's up to the parents, though, for real. So if you're underage, check with your folks. But certainly, I'm not going to say it needs a parental advisory. I will not say that. But other movies, though, you got Blue Streak, National Security, Life, right here. Like, other movies, and Stand Up, definitely parental advisory. Moving right along. Big Mama's House 2 opened at #1 at the North American box office and grossed almost $28 million in its first weekend. Getting that money, bruh. And 2006 as well, Martin Lawrence appeared he also appeared on Inside the Actors Studio, during which he briefly brought back to life some of the characters he had portrayed in his self-entitled legendary sitcom, Martin. Oh, yes. And also in 2006, this is where he starts to get into more movies, this time doing voiceover. He provided voiceover work as Boog in the computer animated comedy film Open Season. In 2008, Martin starred in Walt Disney Pictures' College Road Trip, co-starring with Raven-Symoné. Now, Raven-Symoné, I think she got her start with The Cosby Show. So shout out to Raven-Symoné, shout out to The Cosby Show. Definitely check out The Cosby Show. Definitely do research on Raven-Symoné. That is capital RAVEN dash Simone. That is capital SYMONE. That's E with the accent on it. All right. Let's see. It was his first. So College Road Trip was his first G-rated film. All right. Now I told you a bunch of his other stuff is like parental advisory, so that's like definitely R-rated. A lot of his other stuff. I'm not gonna say all of it, but a lot of his other stuff is R-rated. In 2011, Martin reprised his role as FBI agent Malcolm Turner in Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son. So that's the third film in the Big Mama series. Okay. In 2020, Martin reprised his role as Detective Marcus Burnett again, alongside Will Smith, who played Mike Lowry, in the third installment of the Bad Boys franchise, which was Bad Boys for Life. Go check it out, please. Parental advisory. Just do a research. I'm just trying to let you know. The film grossed $112 million in its first 4 days of release. Wow. And a lot of that is because it had been so long between the second Bad Boys and Bad Boys for Life. And them reuniting. I mean, it's a classic. Bad Boys is a classic film franchise. So, anyway, that does it for the research. Personal anecdotes. I just want to thank Martin for being who he is. Martin Fitzgerald Lawrence. He's a global phenomenon, American icon, a national treasure, just like his movie says, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely a national treasure. But I really appreciate his presence on this earth, especially in the sense that he helped my father. He was like medicine. His brand of comedy, him, Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey with the Family Feud, like their brands of comedy brought levity to an otherwise tragic situation, hopeless situation, with my father having cancer, and being able to have the TV on in my dad's room, him sitting there laying there just listening to it or watching it when he could roll over. It was comforting. You know what I mean? It was he wanted it. He wanted the TV on so he could see that. And it might have been the very last thing he saw on TV was Martin. And I'm glad it was that, because that show is something that he and I shared time and time again, night after night after night. Just talking. We would talk about the Bible, we would talk about life, we would laugh, talk about my career, my goals, my dreams. This is up until he got sick. Even when at the beginning stages of when he was sick and he didn't really know what it was. It was pre-diagnosis. We talked about that. We would eat snacks and just talk. And talk about, me, just everything, man. And there was always Steve Harvey in the background, or Martin, or Bernie Mac. But most often it was Martin. Most often it was Martin, no doubt. And my dad would bust in the door, coming home from work, doing Jerome, oh my good, my dad. I mean, thank you, Martin. Appreciate you, man. And I just wish you well. I pray, honestly, man, I really hope that I get to work with you one day. I do see myself doing that. I see it. I know I'm going to meet you one day. I don't know when, how, I don't know. I'm going to meet you one day. It's going to be like that. Oh, yes. And when I see you, I'm going to reach you. Oh, yes. It's going to be me, you, and LeBron. We're going to have a party. It's called the Face Party. Oh, yes. I love it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Martin Lawrence. Let me go ahead and Blue Street, National Security. Back here was Doing Time Uncut, comedy special, stand-up comedy. All right, Life. Definitely check that out. Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 1. Welcome home, Roscoe Jenkins. All right, Rebound, Bad Boys for Life. All right, down here, now this is the Martin Show. This is the sitcom, okay? Big Mamas, Like Father, Like Son, we just talked about that. House Party, classic. I remember when it first came out, my Aunt Debbie was like, nah, y'all can't see it. We were kids at the time. Nothing to lose, shout out to Aunt Debbie. Black Knight, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why people ain't like that, but I mean, I love that movie. You know, Partners with Kelsey Grammer. What's the Worst That Could Happen with Danny DeVito. You So Crazy. Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy. Classic stand-up film. Get into it. Parental advisory. I'm just letting you know. And I'm thinking something that he might have said on this show might have been something that he said on SNL or something in the, in that vicinity. And bam, the censors. You know what I'm saying? The cancelers. Cancel culture before cancel culture. Brother got banned. House Party 2. A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. My God. With Lynn Whitfield. Woo! That joke right there caused me to think twice about how I deal with women. Honesty is the best policy, folks. Wild Hogs, that's the one I was telling you my boy Ron was laughing about. He said, "That's what you don't know good." He got the helmet on. Yeah, man. Death at a Funeral, First Amendment Stand Up. That's a comedy stand-up series, stand-up comedy series that he had going on with a bunch of comedians going on tour and stuff like that. I think that was it. What is it? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Run Tell That. So that's another. I think that's his second stand-up comedy special. That's visual. That's on video. Big Mama's House, Boomerang. Classic, man. Check it out. Big Mama's House 2. College Road Trip right there. Def Comedy Jam, 25 year celebration, anniversary. Talking Dirty After Dark. Open season right there where he does the voice of Boog. Alright? So get into it, man. Do the research on my main man, Martin Lawrence, for real. I'm going to write down the Martin Show. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, by way of Germany, and the DMV, certainly Landover, Maryland, my main man, the one and only, Mr. Martin Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Oh yes, he is somebody who is definitely worthy of Black Facts, Black Facts. My name is Mike Fields. It's been an honor and a pleasure to do this celebration with you guys, to celebrate with you 2022 Black History Month. I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me for 28 episodes, man. And like I said, who knows? I might do a bonus feature. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like I got a few more things. I got a little bit more left in the tank, so we'll see. But anyway, take care of yourself and each other. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Do the research, folks. I'm just a messenger. But do your own research, all right? I love you. Take care, man. Peace. I got that from Martin, too. Specifically Pam. Facts! My man, Tommy. Still don't know what he does for a living. He ain't got no job. What's his name?